Welcome back, everybody. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 methods that you can use to find high potential, highly profitable games for BTTS. These methods are always updating, so you can just go back, use the same page, use the same tool, and everything you've saved will be there. So set it up once, follow along in this video if you like, and then enjoy finding BTTS games for the rest of time. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 methods for finding games that are highly likely to end with BTTS landing. So the first method is the trends page here on Odd Alerts. Now, the trends page takes all of the upcoming games in the world and orders them by the top performing teams for a certain market. So for this example, we are on the BTTS trends page, and you can see that it's split between home teams, away teams, and then you have this combined table as well. Now, the odds are not available for these games, but that doesn't mean they won't become available. So one strategy that you can take with BTTS here is, let's take this game in Turkey, for example. We can click on it to get a bit more data, so we can see that this home team have played 5 games at home. They've scored in every home game. BTTS has landed in 80% of games. And the same is true for the away team. Now, you would check the stats, you would see how many goals they're scoring, conceding, and then if you did want to set an alert on this game, you can click the bell and we could just say, let me know when it hits 1.6. And for the majority of leagues on Bet365, if it's not available before the game kicks off because they don't want to offer it, because it's not worth the risk to them to offer it before the game, because it would be quite low, you imagine, the odds for that, you can then get alerted when it becomes available, and that is usually around 10 to 12 minutes into the games. So the trends pages are a really nice and easy way to find these quick short lists that are categorized by the outcome. So BTTS, won at half time, away wins, you get the idea. I also just want to show you the API as well, so you can get all of this data directly as JSON data, and you can see it here. So I'm accessing the Trends API endpoint, and I am looking at the BTTS outcome, and you can select the outcome in the URL, and you can also filter. So you can filter for all of these things here. If you want to say that we just want 75% or more, let me just change the URL and you will see these update. So we can say min stat equals 75, and now we have teams that have played 10 games or more overall, and the stat that this is sorting by, which in this case is BTTS, is going to be 75% or more. So you can see there's some under 17s football here. Now, there is no odds for this. Now, the next step that you can do on the API is also filter for the odds. So again, let me just type that in the URL and then you will see this update. Now, I've actually put in 1.6, and you can see we've got games here from Portugal where the BTTS percentage for the home team and the away team is 86%, so that should be an interesting game. And you can get all of this data and the odds of 1.91 there. We've got Weymouth versus Slough, and you can do whatever you like with this data. You can create your own alerts, you can create your own football databases, but you have instant access to it via the API. So if you want to check that out as well, it is oddalerts.com/football data API, or just head to the website and then you'll find it on the menu. So back to the trends pages, and that was the first method of quickly finding consistent games that have got a high chance for BTTS landing. It's sorted by the percentage that has already happened. So in terms of the home games for Augsburg, for example, 8 out of 8, it's already happened. And that is a good entry. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen again, but it's just a good short list. It's a good entry point into the market, BTTS. And we can see here actually that they're playing Leverkusen, who are scoring for fun as well, 2.43 goals away from home. So that will be certainly one to take a look at. And before we head on to the next step, I'm actually going to just set an alert on that. So the second method, and a very popular method, is the value bets page. And I'm just on the BTTS section here. So we've got our collection of games. And in this first column, we have the probability. Now, this is the probability that the Odd Alerts probability model gives this game in terms of being BTTS. So what percentage do we give it? So this first game here, 46%, which is equal to 2.16 when converted from probability into odds. And then we can see in the next column that 1xBet is offering 2.21. So that is 2.3% of value. Now, you might want to only see bets where there is a certain threshold for value, and you can do that by heading to the filters section. So for example, this is currently listed and ordered by time. If we go to the filter, this is a blank filter. I've not changed anything. We can go to sort by, and you can't see the options here because of the screen recording software. It doesn't record drop downs for some reason, but the options here are kickoff time, probability, value, and odds. So we're going to sort this by probability, and you can adjust the league predictability as well. Now what this is, it is the predictability of a certain competition based on the probability model across the last 3 to 6 months, depending on the competition. You can exclude cups, you can exclude friendlies. We'll go ahead and do that. You might want to set a minimum odds, so we could just say show me games that are evens or over, and we will save that, and it will refresh the page for us, and it will automatically show us the BTTS feed again, this time ordered by probability, and then we see the value as well. So we have 14% value here. Pinnacle offering evens for Shrewsbury Stevenage. We give it a 57.33% chance of seeing BTTS, so a higher percentage on odd alerts compared to the bookmakers. You can see there's a game here, Saint Etienne in League 2 in France, evens again, and we set the minimum odds to be evens, didn't we? So you can expect all of these on the right hand side here to be evens. And the thing with value betting is, as I said at the start when I introduced this page, it is more of a longer term play. It is more of a disciplined play. You could jump into this and lose the first 5, 10, 15 bets, but you have to be prepared for those downswings. If you have value and you're consistently betting on value, then long term you will be profitable. Now, as an aside from this page, let me just show you the downloads page and what you can do here for all of the markets. So you've got full-time results here, you've got over and under for all of the markets there, as you can see, over 1.5 to 4.5. And here we have BTTS as well. So what this is, it is all of the games and all of the probability model outputs for 2023. So you can download this and then you can craft and test and formulate the filter settings that you will put in here, and you'll be able to see the profitability across the last year. And then you can go in here and start tracking your bets. You can track bets automatically from this page. Just hit the track button and then you'll be able to select the bankroll. So if you've set up a BTTS value bets bankroll, for example, you can just quickly bang it in here and then save it, and it'll be automatically saved. And if you're not aware of bet tracking on odd alerts and how it works, your bets are settled automatically, so you don't have to go back in and say that it was a winner or a loser or push or whatever. So that was the second method, value betting, in terms of finding games for BTTS. And as I mentioned before as well, you can access the value bets on the API as well. So you can, again, just access this full list of games, and you can filter for it as well, specific to value bets, and it will allow you to see all of the odds from the value bet supported bookmakers. So we've got Bet365, Pinnacle, 1xBet, and William Hill. Now let's get started with the final method of finding games for BTTS. And this one is a little bit more fun. It's a little bit, the ball's in your court, open to interpretation, experimentation, and it is quick filters. And this is something I like to do on a Thursday with the weekend coming up. Just like to throw out different ideas and concepts and try and think of certain teams within the realms of BTTS, or it could be another market. So, for example, an away team that has scored in, let's just say, each of the last 10 games, okay? So we can save that. And then we want a home team, let's just say their points per game at home this season is 1.6 or more. And that's very simple, but we can just search and I'm recording this on Saturday, and we can see we get some games. So Coventry-Leicester is an interesting one straight away. Leicester, obviously the best team in the Championship by some distance, but Coventry, if we just click into this, and this is why I said this method is a bit more fun, especially compared to value betting. Not to discount value betting at all. It's probably the most profitable system on odd alerts, but this one, for me, I like analysing football. I like exploring fixtures, and we can see here Coventry, they're in great form after a shaky start to the season. This is going to be a tough game for Leicester, and could you see BTTS landing? Well, if you look at the recent games, certainly away from home, Leicester have conceded in quite a few away games. There's not been a 0-0 away from home, BTTS landing in just under 70% of games. In terms of goals conceded, they've conceded in 77% of games, so that one is interesting in terms of BTTS. We can take a look at the odds as well, just do a quick odds comparison here, and the odds are 1.73, so yeah, this, as I said at the start of the quick filter section, for me, the value betting is more of the long-term disciplined system approach. And then I like to use quick filters to create little doubles or trebles for the weekend, which still can be very profitable and often are. So you could imagine this Coventry game combined with another game. I'm often shouting from the rooftops to never really do more than doubles, trebles at a max. 1.73, you could combine this with a strong home team. You could find another BTTS game. So this shortlist, these rules that we put in, there's only 4 rules in here, but this one especially, the fact that all of these away teams we see have scored in every single one of the last 10 games is quite an important rule and quite a powerful rule to add in. And then you can just almost guarantee that the home team is decent and can take care of themselves with this points per game. If you wanted to add extra qualification, you could also add a qualifying rule for the home team in terms of goals scored. So only show me home teams that have scored in 80% or more. Will that get rid of Coventry? It does. We've got Charlton Peterborough though. That's an interesting game as well. Augsburg against Leverkusen, the game that we saw from the trends page. We can see that it is 100% there as well on the stats scroller. So as I say, this third method, quick filters, it is a bit more visual. It's a bit more fun. You have to do the research, you have to do the work. But for me, it doesn't feel like work. I love researching and seeing what football's being played and seeing what kind of form teams are in. And as you can see with this quick filter, it is quite easy to create something that is quite powerful. And that is the third method of finding games for BTTS. So which is your favorite method, and which do you prefer? Which kind of better are you? Are you more of the quick filter visual, like to feel the games and see the data in the research? Or are you more of a systematic tweak and adjust a value bets filter and let it go long term? Let us know in the comments. And of course, not forgetting about trends, a great place to quickly see the top performing teams for BTTS, and of course set those instant alerts as well. Thanks for watching as always. Leave a comment with the market that you would like me to make a video on next.